Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What's going on, people? Welcome to the first edition of the Late Spurs show by We Are Tottenham TV, hosted by Tottenham on Tour, live from North America.
What's up, people?
You got myself, Brian Daigle, and obviously Brian Ireland. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing well, mate. It's Friday night here in Toronto, Canada. Really looking forward to the show. Obviously, the lads giving us an opportunity to be on their channel and doing something on a Friday night with you again, because it's we used to do the two Brians on Fridays. That was back in the day, and we're sort of rinse and repeating that a little bit with a little bit of a different format, a different vibe.
So yeah,
won't be as messy, folks.
So people may have seen me talking about this and seen me talking about this and so on our socials. So let's give you a little show introduction and tell you what the show is all going to be about. So the way it came about is we spoke to Ben and Simeon. We all know the great work that they do during the day back home in UK time, and they work tirelessly. And then they go home, which they deservedly deserve to. It did not take long for me to do that. But we said to them, you've got a whole audience here across North America, the West Coast, and other parts of the world that can't get to Good Morning Tottenham because of work or because they're asleep or it's too late. So we thought, you know what? Let's do a show where we try and attract that market, because obviously it works out perfectly for us, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're in the Eastern time zone. We're in North America. We're in Canada, obviously, in particular. But hoping we can reach a lot of people who don't necessarily get to see a lot of content on WeAreTottenhamTV unless it's post. So we'll hopefully give you a little bit of a sense of what's happening here for us and how we're experiencing Tottenham Hotspur.
Exactly. And the other thing to know, obviously tonight we started at 11 p.m. UK time, which is 6 for us back here. But I start a new job on Monday. So every Friday, it's going to be more 8 p.m. our time, which is 1 a.m. for you night birds. But we are literally, it's going to be like Good Morning Tottenham. We're going to make it very, very interactive. Ben and Simeon will be putting the StreamYard link in the community section to join us as of next week.
Yep.
But we've only got an hour and 15-minute max. So we're just going to have a nice interactive conversation with you guys today. And we'll start off by going through a few of the comments. So let me quickly go through them. Let's have a look who we got. So let's go. We have Bobby K, the brother from Toronto, and his 3 Spurs boys. Everyone check them out. They're brilliant. We've got James McGrath asking about a Discord. I've got no idea how to use Discord. I think it's a smart idea, but yeah. Are you good with Discord?
I mean, I know what Discord is. I think if you want to start one, I think it's something that we recommend you do. When it comes to a community that exists within the YouTube, and having a lot of channels, I think there's room for both of those things. So, feel free to start a Discord.
Exactly. Then we got JGR Make, which is saying we would have drawn or lost that game. Well, yeah, I'm not too sure about that, but the Premiership starts tomorrow anyway, doesn't it? Today was a non-entity.
What Premier League?
We've got Alexandra Castro saying, let's go. We've got Terry Hudspur saying they played well in the first half and second half was shocking. Exactly what we thought.
Yes, exactly. That was my thoughts as well.
Let's see who else we've got in the building. Again, we've got Matt Overcock, which is, I'm not going to say because we said we're not going to swear for 10 minutes, but totally and utterly agree with you.
Couldn't agree more.
Hello, Daniel. Adrian Schrocker, how we doing? Wolves Fee, the man that gets around absolutely
What's
everywhere.
Up, Wolves Fee? How you doing, buddy?
Unbelievable. Michael Bennett, Arsenal run of the mill as usual and getting carried away against the result of fodder teams. Correct. We've got We Are Tottenham TV. Thank you, Ben.
What's up, Ben?
Welcome everyone. That's right, THFC Kev. Smash the likes. So there's loads of people going in here. I'll keep going through them, but what's the next thing we're going to talk about?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the beginning of the Premier League, which is coming up tomorrow morning. I know that there might have been something that happened earlier today. We're not really counting that at this point. We're going to get into the Premier League kickoff, what it means for Spurs, what we expect to see tomorrow, and have a little bit of fun chat about it. There's a few things in regards to James Ward-Prowse and our
we're going to discuss.
Yeah, we're going to discuss our set piece coach, and hopefully he's sorted out to what we didn't see the last time we played Southampton. Last 2 times we played Southampton. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about the presser we just watched on this channel. Some interesting comments from Antonio Conte. A little bit of straight out of Conte for you, built into the Friday night show, which I recommend going to our channel, Tottenham on Tour, to check out our straight out of Conte. We always analyze what's going on with what the gaffer's saying. So I think he'll be. He said some interesting things tonight in the embargoed press conference. So we're going to get into that a little bit, and then we're going to get into some comments from you guys. So hopefully you guys add your comments, add your questions.
There's
anything.
a couple of comments I want to bring up, and this is kind of what we're doing. From Andrew saying, "Thank you for bringing We Are Tottenham TV to North America."
Yeah, we'd like to see that,
Andrew. This is the exact point,
we're doing,
because obviously there are a lot of people that can't come on regularly due to work commitments, like we said, or falling asleep, being asleep. Yep. So this is what it's all about, and it's wonderful to see. And I'm seeing a lot. We've got from Seattle, we got from Boston. So it's wonderful to see that this is what we're doing. And as Brian Island mentioned, you'll see in the title of this, you don't even need to leave this channel or this show right now. The boys have thankfully put Tottenham on Tour's link. You just need to push that link that's in the description. You won't leave the stream. Hit that subscribe. We're aiming to get to 5,000, and your support will be absolutely great.
Really appreciate it. Yeah,
I'll keep going through these these while we start talking about the Premiership, Bryce.
Yeah, let me. You're gonna put those on screen, or do we want to pick up a banner here?
Yeah, let's check up. We've got to chuck it up a banner.
Check up a banner there. It's a little bit of tech going on. Premier League kicks off tomorrow morning. I know that there was a game tonight, and we don't really want to get into it because it wasn't the result we were all hoping for. But 10 a.m. we're going to be at the home of Toronto Spurs at Scotland Yard tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Kickoff against Southampton. There's a lot going on. Obviously, a lot of other games to watch. Any other games tomorrow that you're interested in, you're excited about, or do you even pay attention?
I can't remember. No, I can't remember. If it's a late game tomorrow or a Sunday game. But I think it's a late game tomorrow.
Sunday's got some good games.
But I'm looking forward to seeing Everton Chelsea.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting to see where both teams are at. Of course, we play Chelsea the following weekend, and trying to figure out sort of where we stand and where they stand, and obviously where Everton stand if they're it all improved from where they were last season, nearly getting relegated. So, but Premier League's back. I think the thing to talk about here, the thing I'm excited about is, I don't know about you guys, but I miss football so much. I mean, you can get a little bit of taste of this here, a little bit of taste of that here. So I'm in Toronto. We're in Toronto. I have TFC tickets, so I got seasons down there, and I'm down there for games. But it just isn't the same. There's no Spurs for it's only probably in this situation, it's probably only been a month and change. It's a long month and change to be without Spurs, and of course the transfer window, the joy and pain that the window brings. We're not going to get into that, by the way, but it's I've only can take so much of it. I just want to see some football.
Yep. But listen, for me, there's 2 types of seasons: football season and the summer. That's it. And we've missed it dreadfully, but thankfully it's back. And one of the things, obviously, first days is always full of energy, full of happiness, because football's back. Yeah. I was speaking to you earlier, and I want you people in the comments, out of your lifetime of supporting Spurs, what is your favourite opening day game? It could be because you went there, it was your first time. It could be the result. Like, for example, mine, I didn't get to go to the game. I went to his second game, was Sheffield Wednesday 3, Tottenham Hotspur 4, and a certain debut of a certain Jurgen Klinsmann. Yeah,
interesting so that season was the first year I got in Tottenham Hotspur. It was 1994. I went with a friend to the UK. I was always into football. I grew up playing myself, but English football was not something we had access to. But I had a friend of mine who was English who would travel to the UK with, and went to the Lane, and it was a Newcastle game in November. I think you said who got a hat trick? Was it Sheringham?
Sheringham, yeah. We were at the same game.
We were at the same game. Didn't know, of course, but I remember we were just across from the away fans, and it was the banter, the atmosphere back in those days, too, the 90s. It was still pretty brutal, but a ton of fun. Speaking of first games, my favorite first game, because I've only been to one away game, was my 40th birthday. It was Pochettino's first game for the club, and we won against West Ham 1-0 away at Upton Park before it was knocked down. I mean, performance maybe not so much. I mean, it was a kind of dogged and not a ton of fun to watch necessarily, but to win the way we did for Dyer to score that goal in the last 92nd, 93rd minute in extra time, and in Pochettino's first season reigning. So it's awesome. So yeah, get in there with your debuts and chuck them in the comments, and we'll post them up.
And I have to say, it's come from it's KPV, and we're live. So yeah, I mean, there's loads of games to choose from when you're looking at the opening day, but that one really sticks out for you, for West Ham.
Yeah, I mean, I just think, going to an away game, if you've been to away games, I know a lot of people don't get to. It's not an easy one to get to. And shout out to Toronto Spurs. It was actually at the time Spurs Canada who got me the tickets. Got my girlfriend the tickets, who's still my current girlfriend, which was 8 years ago when we went. And the Spurs Canada, affiliated with the club, got me the tickets, and I was very, very surprised that I got them, and of course very thankful as well. Traveled over to the UK and went to the game. Shockingly enough, a very bad decision and very naive, of course, because we were Canadians going to watch a football match in the UK. We decided to wear our Spurs jerseys to an away game at West Ham, and we met some of the fans as we were walking, and they're like, "Do up your coat, because it's pretty hostile. It's still, not in the 90s, but still hostile. The row of the old Bill in the middle on the horses, just holding people back, and things being thrown at you, trying to get into that away gate at the back door of Upton Park. A ton of fun, nervous, but ton of fun. And I'll always remember that day and always remember that game. Really, probably the trigger that really, really got me into Tottenham. I mean, I was always like through the 2000s, we were sort of able to watch them, but it was mostly looking at the paper to see what mid-table position we had accompanied at that point. So yeah, it was a fantastic story, a ton of fun.
So there's a couple of questions I want to bring up. I apologize for one of them. It's been so many. It's gone that I can't find where it was, but we will. We got. And first of all, we'll deal with a super chat.
Oh, nice.
Which is, don't forget about us fans in. From Rob Wallace. Thank you very much. Don't forget about your fans in New Zealand. 10 a.m. here. Morning coffee and Spurs chat. Perfect. Great way to start the day. Big up the two Bryans. See, this is what it's about.
Fantastic stuff.
Of course, we were saying that's what we were saying earlier, Rob. Obviously, it's
around the world.
Around the world, obviously, a non-Europe, basically. I mean, obviously, we've got a lot of Europeans watching who stay up late and whatever. But it's to get that interaction with you guys that don't get it at the regular time. So thank you for the super chat. So the first question I had, which was, well, first of all, Kevin K has actually said he'd love to see me do a Spurs walk with Leaf, but I'm not getting into that. But the question was, will I buy any Spurs match? At the moment, I'm still standing where I am. That's my own personal, this needs to go on for a lot longer for me to say, right, okay, I'm going to start buying. But that's my personal preference. And the only leaving thing I'm going to say is this is a step in the right direction, what we've done this summer. And I'm not going to speak about that. The what I will say, Kev, there will be times to speak about him, but right now is a nice chilled out Friday, relaxing. It's Premier League season day, opening day.
It's positive vibes.
So,
positive
exactly.
vibes at the moment.
So the other question that came in, and I can't find where it was get more about today, tomorrow's game.
Yeah.
How many new signings do you think will start tomorrow? And I apologize for the person that I can't find the question, but big up to you, and we're going to deal with that question now.
Yeah, cheers to the question. How many will start? Okay, Forster obviously not going to start. Richarlison can't start because of the suspension. Perisic, from a fitness perspective, I don't think he's there yet, or at least I think that's what we got from the press conference when we did Straight Outta Conte yesterday, is that I think we'll probably see him against Chelsea, but I think tomorrow you'll see Cesc start. Spence probably not. I don't think we'll see any of them start. I think the starting lineup will be the starting lineup at the end of the season. Last season will start this season. I think because they know Conte's way and style of football, what he wants to see. I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see a repeat of what we saw in one of the preseason games where it was the exact starting lineup. I don't think that's going to be popular from people. I think people are going to be a little bit annoyed because they're going to want to see the new signings. That's always I want to see all the the new blood. But I think it's the right thing to do. I think from a management perspective, if I'm Conte, I'm looking at what's the best way to get a result here. These are the players that know my system the best, and from a fitness perspective, probably are the fittest because they've been training under me for 7 months now. So I think it makes sense. So I think that's like what we'll see.
I'm going to throw 3 curveballs your way.
Yeah, throw them, chuck them in.
So I'm hoping.
Curveballs are fun.
No, I don't want Davinson Sanchez starting a left centre back. I just categorically do not want him starting.
I guess that's one spot where you might see a difference, right?
I'm a fan. I try and stick up for Sanchez and where I can.
Not in the left side. I mean,
no left side. So I don't know if it'll be Davis, but I think Longley may start. And I actually think, and to answer your question, El Dante, about being is Basuma injured. From what Ben and Simeon tweeted earlier, apparently he is now fit but not expected to play. I think
that's what Conte said as well.
But I think this is. Do you remember when we beat United 6-1 and Son wasn't going to play? He had a calf injury or whatever it was.
Yeah, a little cheeky moment.
And he weren't going to play. And then all of a sudden, he's there. I've got a sneaky feeling.
Yeah, I mean,
Basuma started.
I would love to see. And this is a frustrating thing that we didn't see in the preseason. I wanted to see Basuma and Bentancur play together. We didn't get to see that. We saw them sort of rotate or switch between Højbjerg and I think when Basuma came on, Bentancur went off, and I was kind of like, I want those to see because I think that's the most dynamic midfield we'll have when it comes to what the two of them will offer when it comes to the passing, when it comes to the breaking up of play, and I would love to see that in the first game. I hope I'm wrong, and that it's not going to be the sort of the standard midfield that we've seen, the Bentancur Højbjerg midfield. But I think that's probably what will happen. But who knows? Could be wrong. Basuma is likely fit. I think that's what Conte said yesterday in the presser. That the only injury we currently have that looks like won't be able to play is Skip. So unfortunate for Skip. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the morning when that was announced.
Exactly, and I mean, I can see Perisic coming off the bench. I
can as well. I think there'll be preparation.
He needs to get some minutes in his legs. But before we carry on with this, I want to give a big shout out to a certain person, and he's mentioned. I now own, and it's a fact, the best ringtone in the world. If anyone checks my socials, they'll know why. Tim Winston, who everyone is going to get to see if you go to East Stand level 5, I believe.
Yep.
Tomorrow we had him on Tottenham on tour. He's part of Spurs song sheet. He's a singer. And I've now got "Stop Crying Arteta" as my ringtone.
Yeah, and hop on over to our channel for that as well, because we did they did a concert for us in the last 6 minutes or 7 minutes of the stream we did with them. Unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties with that, but they re-recorded it and sent us that, and so it's on our channel right now. And I think, like Brian said, you can click the link at the top and pop on over and check it when you get a chance after the stream. Obviously,
no, you can do it during
but to listen to it.
Stay
with us, and then at the end go. But absolutely brilliant. The guys are fantastic, and it's a great ringtone. And
Kevin, it's on mute. It's on mute, brother. But check my socials, and you will hear it. But yeah, going back, I mean, let's see what people have said. A lot of people said they're not going to see zero. Alexandra says Perisic and Longley. I saw a couple of people say zero. But we're gonna have to wait and see, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have to be patient here too. I think the reality of the situation is these players are, some of them, the Longleys of the world, even Basuma, they didn't get the full preseason. They either for COVID reasons or for Longley didn't have his work permit. They're not going to be up to snuff yet. The players that have been training with Conte are, and we should just recognize that that's going to be a decision from the coach, and that Conte is likely going to make that decision. No, obviously everybody's welcome to their opinion. And I wanted to see, but it's the first game of the season, Southampton at home. Let's go in. Let's get that W. Let's have a comfortable win with players who know what the system is.
You know what's weird, because obviously with this, I know there's a lot of people in here from England, and I know the time that they're going. What time is everyone having to get up and get to the pub, or what time is kickoff in the country you are?
That's a great one.
Let's have a look at this. Normally, this normally goes on for this. This is why I said to you where this goes mad and the comments start coming in. So, what country are you in, and what time is kickoff for you tomorrow?
Yeah, it's a great.
And of course, Bob Spurs Superman had to come in and said, "I love a long lay." So, in true Bob Spurs
What's
spirit,
up, Bobby?
let me just go.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, let's have a look. So 15. It's 3 o'clock for everyone in England. Obviously, it's 10 a.m. for us. I'm getting up I'm meeting everyone at the Scotland Yard at 9 a.m. to decorate the Scotland Yard. So yeah, it's oh, there you go. New Zealand, we got from Rob 2 a.m. We have got Boston 10 a.m. That's the same time as us.
Yep.
We got Sweden 4 o'clock. New York 10 a.m. So yeah, we'll start getting a load of East Coast 10 a.m. That's the same as us. Dublin is obviously going to be the same, but it's amazing. We've got 16 o'clock, 4 o'clock in Mallorca. Yeah, it's just amazing. Wait a minute, I'm in Southall. It's 5 a.m. here for the game.
Southall, we're Southall, mate.
Yeah, which part of Southall? Nick, Barry, Sean, Phil, Grant, they are going to put on a show for you. I know exactly what time you'll be at the Grammar Man. We've got Alexander Porto. What time is kickoff in India? You can do the maths for that because I don't know the time difference. But yeah, it's
a long way away.
People don't understand the real experience of getting up very, very early for us. Or
we were talking about that earlier, right? The Arsenal game, the filth. I hate even saying the words coming out of my mouth, but when we play them, the North London Derby for us is 7:30 a.m. kickoff.
Yep.
Brian's up for it. He's up and at the pub. I have a general rule for 7:30 games. I roll out of bed and roll onto my couch and turn it on because it's just too early, man, to get up. Brian's going to try to convince me over the next month and a half.
Because Rez is going to be here as well.
Yeah, Rez will be here, so maybe I'll make an exception.
Exactly, it's going to make a bit. And you know what? The first time I did it was for the North London Derby at Wembley when Harry Kane scored, and it was on February the 10th, which. My grandma passed away the December before,
right?
And it was her birthday, February the 10th, and it was 6:30 in the morning. I think it was minus 20 degrees, and it was the first time I got out in Canada and started walking at that time in the morning. Just the journey at 6 a.m. The pub opening, and we won. Yeah, 1-0. So I loved it. So
that helps. Yeah, the winning helps. For sure.
It does. And what's the next thing we were moving on to?
Well, Conte had we talked about Conte's presser when we just watched. It was just on this channel. I think that the key thing to focus in on here for me, what I thought was interesting, I think be interesting to get your guys' thoughts. How the World Cup in the middle of it is going to affect the season for the players that go there, for the teams, for the teams that don't have players that go there. Conte was very specific about what it was he was talking about when it came to how they're managing it. There's a very specific way that they're managing it. They're making sure that players are going to be fit for the 4 months that they've got to play up until that point. How do you think it's going to affect the season? Because it's such a weird thing to happen, right in the middle, plopped in the middle of it. Liverpool, for instance, have 3 of their biggest players who aren't going to the World Cup. Mo Salah is not going to be in the World Cup. I forget who else it is, but some big players who aren't going. Are we going to suffer from it? We've got Kane and Son both going to the World Cup. I guess depending on how far they go in it as well. How much do you think the World Cup's going to affect the season for teams, and specifically for Spurs? So
before I just want to say to Joseph, I don't know about how late the pubs stay open for countries that it's late, but for instance, the Scotland Yard will open for us at 6:30 in the morning, when they normally open at what time? 10, 11?
10, 11. So, but actually, that's just changed about a year ago. Pubs are now allowed to start serving alcohol at 9 a.m. Prior to that, it was 11 a.m. And that was about a year, like last year that happened. So they can open whenever they want, but they can't serve until 9 a.m. now. So that's generally if they're going to open and they're going to serve, especially for a football match. People will come in, they get a Caesar or a champagne or something like that.
And for people that back home don't know what Caesar is, it's basically a Bloody Mary.
It's a much better Bloody Mary than.
So that's it. And also they're opening up early for the World Cup, and especially with Canada being here. But
there'll be some really
getting
back
games. To Conte and the World Cup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, this is the first time that we've had Conte for a pre-season. So we've heard, and obviously when we've done our things, the amount of detail he puts on fitness, and you could see it in the players.
Oh man, crazy.
I don't know if that is a standard Conte practice or it is a standard Conte practice, and he's upped the game because of the World Cup. Because the words he said, work.
Yeah.
And you've got, and he goes on about training. So like Pochettino did.
Yeah.
But I think with the World Cup coming, and that's why I think as well when he said for the Southampton game, I'm not risking Perisic if he's not fit. He's not going to risk players, because he knows what kind of season is ahead, and we need to. If you remember this as well, before the World Cup, all our big games are away, and if we can come out of that, on the plus point, the huge impact that could have on the season going forward. So, yeah, I mean, this World Cup is really chucked a spanner in the works. But I think the players more they want to be super fit because they don't want to pick up an injury. They don't want to.
Yeah, and it looks like the training that Conte is implemented is to ensure less injuries.
Yep.
Like there's a highlight. It's highlighted to make sure that the players are fit enough so that they can play games for full 90 minutes and not put themselves in positions where the injury is a likelihood. So, cheers, Jamie, in Croatia.
No, I think they did. I think they're in Canada's group, aren't they?
They are. Yeah,
they're in Canada's group.
They are.
So I knew that they did. So they are, and obviously. But we've got a few players that aren't going. You got to remember, Suma's not going.
Yeah.
Skip won't be going. There's quite a few of them.
I think there'll be a focus from Conte on that. When we come back in January, he'll likely focus on all right, who can we rely on?
Kulusevski isn't going.
Yeah, Kulusevski. Yeah, exactly. There'll be players that we'll be able to rely on won't have gone. The other thing too is they'll get a second preseason.
Yeah.
The ones who don't go will get that fitness for the 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks that the World Cup is happening with Conte. It'll
4
just
weeks.
be 4 weeks in total. But yeah,
if he gets to the final,
yeah, you have to go all the way, and of course that a lot of the teams won't get there. But it is it's a second preseason in the middle of the season for Conte, and there'll be a lot of players who will benefit from that as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. I'm curious how that's going to be, how we're going to be affected by that, but of course how the other teams in particular, because it's the type of season where you could get lucky and maybe nick a spot. Maybe instead of finishing third, finish second. Dare I say finish first?
Don't.
I know, I gotta say it. It's fun. We're gonna win the league.
We don't. No, that's the lot down the road.
I'm having a joke. The lot down the road are serious about it.
The lot down the road are just ridiculous.
But it's a fun thing. It's a fun thing to say. I recognize it's a bit ridiculous, but I do think there's potential for something to happen for some of these teams, and it could be us. I mean, we could suffer from it. We could, it could be Son and Kane who, for instance, maybe not Sonny so much because I don't expect South Korea to go that far, but we could see England go quite far based on what we've seen in the last couple tournaments for England. So Kane is going to be in that, and he's going to be playing a lot of football. It could be also really good for him if they have a good tournament. Confidence is high, wins the Golden Boot in the World Cup, comes back and he's firing, boom, we go and win the league. This guy just having fun.
You mentioned Kane. He spoke a lot about Harry Kane, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He did. He keeps talking a lot about Harry Kane, which you understand. It seems to me they're
cutting scissors.
They're together. They're very close on how they see Tottenham and what they want to do at the club. It's nice to see.
Yeah, but not just that. I mean, obviously we know that a lot of, or I would imagine a lot of Harry Kane's future at the club depends on that man staying.
For sure. Yeah.
And if that man goes, exactly, and the way he's talking about, obviously there was that Bayern Munich link, but when he said, listen, Harry is fully committed, he knows, the world knows, and I think we have seen, I can't remember, thank you, Bob Spur, for making me laugh there, we need all 3 points, that's very, very true. But yeah, it comes down to, he was saying he's more committed, he's more focused, you got to remember, like this time last year, he was out of the team, we didn't know what was happening, what was going on, but now he is focused, he is hungry, and he is looking like a man possessed. And
the fitness. You can just see it. I mean, him and Dyer in particular. I mean, Dyer looks like just an absolute beast, and he already is a big man. And then Kane looks so trim and so fit and ready to roll. And when Kane is fit as well, he gets a lot faster. His pace is better. His decision making is better. His passing is better. And when you're talking about, for me, the world's best number 9/10 combined, you're talking about a player who going into the season is going to just, I think, rip it up. I think anybody who doesn't have him in their fantasy team, or anybody who thinks he's not going to be arguably the most likely to win the Golden Boot this season, isn't paying attention.
Yeah, I just want to, Alexandre Castro, we did watch the first press conference, and as I said on our channel, we do a thing called Straight Out of Conte, where we break down every single press conference he does. Yeah. Obviously, we haven't done the embargoed one because it just happened, and we have the pleasure of being here. But yeah, if anyone has any questions they want to ask regarding the press conferences, well, let's go through them. In fact, if any of you guys want any questions, just chuck them in, but just for me to be able to see them. And then we can start going through them. But
we'll do a little Ask Us Anything here.
Yeah, we can do a little bit Ask Us Anything. But whilst we're doing that and waiting for the questions to come in, the next one I really want to talk about.
Yeah, why don't you intro this one, because this is something you've been thinking about,
and
I'm curious about as well.
Talk about, because obviously we brought in a set piece coach, and we all know how terrible our set pieces have been for the God knows how
on both sides of the ball, whether it's Kane trying to take free kicks or
attacking. Oh my God, I spoke North American. I'm about to say offense and defense. Attacking
it's not NFL,
and defensively. I'm sorry, I do apologise. But yeah, so obviously we've got this coaching, and to me, it's James Ward-Prowse versus our set piece coach. And obviously, do people think we may see an immediate impact? Should we get some will we see some new variations of set pieces tomorrow? Because obviously we know that if James Ward-Prowse has a shot on goal, a free kick, a corner, whatever, especially a free kick,
space.
It's space.
If he has space,
free kick. We'll hope, because we're talking set pieces.
Yeah,
you instantly know we're in trouble. You instantly, and he showed with that free kick against Wolves.
Yeah,
that it doesn't matter how far the distance is. So we know we've got to be on our game for that. But do you think? I mean, first of all, guys, if we see Harry Kane taking a free kick, honestly, guys, I started singing a song with Danny Kiriakou when we went to Tottenham when he took a free kick, and we just used to sing "It's hitting the wall, it's hitting the wall, Harry Kane," because that's got to stop. But hopefully, I'm hoping we start seeing some variations of set pieces, like the Darren Anderson and Teddy Sheringham one, where everyone knew it was coming.
Still couldn't defend it. Still couldn't defend it.
Stop it. Yeah. So I'm really intrigued. I mean, obviously we haven't seen many during the preseason, but now it's game time.
Yeah.
Have we been waiting to unleash it all in the Premier League? Is this guy going to make an immediate impact? What do you think?
I hope so. I really, really hope so, because we're in a scenario where that's blatantly obvious to anybody who watches football that if we can improve that part of our game on both sides of the ball, whether we're defending or we're attacking, that it can make a massive difference in a season points wise. I think the amount of points we would drop on poor defending on a corner or a free kick, specifically with Southampton, one was a free kick. I think one was just giving him space, outside the 18-yard box. You just can't do that. We have to be pressure. There has to be a ton of pressure on the ball. If the ball's not dead, if it's a dead ball, we have to have practiced enough to ensure the biggest player on the pitch, which is arguably going to be from our team, to Eric Dyer, is the first one to that ball, no matter what. And then he's supported by the players around him, that if he doesn't get to the ball, or if another one of their other players is there, that they're active, that they're ready to do what's needed to be done to ensure that we don't give up a goal. And on the other side of the ball, when we're attacking, can Sonny please take the free kicks? Like, Sonny scored 2 of them at international duty a couple of months ago. Decky is asked Harry Kane to stop taking them.
Now you say that. KPV said let Sonny take them. Yeah. Tom81, big up Tom.
What's up, Tom?
Said you've just dropped it. Let Kulusevski take it.
Well, Kulusevski specifically said let Son take them. I don't know if you saw the interview. It was on the Spurs Play. It was pretty funny. He begged Harry Kane to get off free kicks, and I was like, this is cheeky. I mean, Decky's a funny man, but it's clear to everybody that again, that's another lost opportunity. We barely even ever get them on net.
Yeah, but well, I mean, there's CQ, who is CQ big up. She's been
it seems quite a bit. She was on our channel yesterday as well.
I was on Will Stewart's channel with her as well. She's absolutely brilliant. And that's a little harsh. My song. I think that's talking about my song. Do you know what? It needs to be said, because everything else is brilliant. And do you know what? I remember a time when I went to Spurs Nottingham Forest when I had a season ticket. Teddy Sheringham. It was the season we signed Chris Armstrong and Klinsmann went.
Yeah.
And Teddy Sheringham kept taking all of our free kicks, and they were woeful. And he got a free kick against Nottingham Forest, and I was going, "Oh, for God's sake, not Teddy again!" And as he did it, curled it into the top corner, and it was like, "Go on, yeah, we knew you could score, Teddy." But Harry Kane has had way. He's
only ever scored 2 free kicks. One of them,
they've both been deflections.
Yeah, well, the most recent in the preseason, and then the other one was the Villa. It was the same season that I went to West Ham game for the home opener. It was Pochettino's first season, a Villa away, and he gets a deflection, and he's still just insisting on it. He's good at everything else. I don't understand why he struggles with free kicks. He probably sits there and practices them and nails them in the top corner all day long, but something about getting in front of the fans, he just can't do it. I don't know. It needs to be changed. But the main thing about tomorrow, when it comes to the James Ward-Prowse situation, what are your thoughts on Ward-Prowse? He didn't come to Spurs this window. I know we're not talking about transfer. I'm just curious about your thoughts on him in particular, and how we're going to manage that situation. On and like during dead balls, and also in open play.
So James Ward-Prowse, people will know that I was going.
You love the guy.
I honestly, I think he's
and
brilliant.
10 goals a season from dead balls. So.
I wanted him as a priority signing, but after we signed Basuma, I was like, right, that's it. We don't need Ward-Prowse. We need a more advanced, creative midfielder.
Yeah, I agree.
He is a menace. He is a danger.
Mm-hmm.
We saw twice in 3 minutes. If you give him space, he will find.
He'll score.
No, he's got the 2 assists, didn't he?
For
the 2 headers.
Yeah.
If you give him time, he will score. And this is kind of why I'm hoping it's been a route about Basuma, because I want Basuma to start and do exactly what he did to Kane against Brighton, where Kane, who was on a rich vein of form of creating, he weren't scoring, he was creating for fun.
Yeah.
He kind of stopped that in its tracks. I've started a question that I want to do. So we're going to try and make this as interactive as possible. And Mark Stevenson has come up with a great question, which is... what's your best Tottenham shirt?
What's your best Tottenham shirt?
So people in the comments, get your answers to Mark Stevenson. What's yours?
Oh, my favorite one is it's a third kit. I had a bit of a habit of buying the third kit. I always liked it because it's just different. I bought the first kit for the first. I have about 4 or 5 of them, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to just start buying the third kit. So it's the blue one, and I forget what season it is. I think it's 2014-15, but it's the dark navy blue with the gold rings around the sleeves. Love that kit. It's Under Armour. A fantastic kit. Oh, it's such a nice kit, and it is my favorite. I have some nice ones. I have a Hewlett Packard one. I think it's from the late 80s. I think it's 86.
Hewlett Packard was in the early 90s.
Oh, so it's early 90s. In 92 maybe?
It was when we had Teddy Sheringham and Chris Armstrong, so 94, 95.
Oh, so okay. So it was that.
95, 96.
Thank you for schooling me on that. So I wasn't sure because I got a friend of mine.
96, and a
friend of mine got it for me.
With Pony Hewlett Packard ones, they used the blue collar used to turn pink after you've washed it a few times.
Well, this one doesn't, and I have washed it. It doesn't fit. It's like probably would fit a kid. It doesn't fit my fat self.
Yeah, so my favorite kit is the first Champions League one with Puma, the one Gareth Bale wore with.
That's a nice kit. I had that one. Yeah,
that dark blue across the top here. I
Very
loved
nice
it.
Kit.
But,
that's classic.
We've got a super chat coming from a great guy, Tom81, that says, "Lad, you're not real Tottenham if you're not a little worried about tomorrow. But with Conte, I've never felt more confident about an opening game for years." And you know what?
Cheers, Tom. He was with us yesterday as well. Good to see you, buddy.
He was indeed. He's a great guy. He's been communicating with me since I was back in January. He's in all the shows and all the channels, and it's great. Listen, that's the thing with Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah,
I don't deny it. I'm going in the most excited I've ever been as a Spurs fan that I can recall.
Yeah.
I think the only other time I've been more excited is that first season I had my season ticket, and I was going in for the first time.
Right.
For optimism, for hope, for knowing the manager's there and the way that he will pump that crowd up, for everything that's going on, I have not been so excited for a season as I am right now. But I say that I'm going to give my score prediction away now, and I've been saying it all week.
Yeah,
I'm going for a 4-0 Tonkin.
Yeah, so you're not nervous at all.
But I'm saying that. But I know when we're watching the game and they're going down. Oh no, here we go. No.
I'm going to be a little reserved. I have 2-0 is what I said yesterday. But as far as going into it nervous, I get this, Tom, and I understand it. Bob Spur has said a couple times, and I love him saying this, and I think this is something to consider. Is we have to, as the club has changed mentality. We have to change mentality. We have to be confident. We have to exude the confidence that Conte is putting into the club, and that the players are good enough to go in and get the result in this game. And let's hope that that's the case. But I don't think you're Spurs if you're not nervous. It is the first opening game of the season at home. It's the first opening game of the season at home we've had. I forget, it was 8 seasons, I think they said I read today. Which is crazy. How can we I'm not conspiratorial in any way, but that just seems nuts. That we've had that many opening games of the season away. So I think at the Lane, being at the new stadium, and with Conte, that there's not really any reason to be worried. The players are going to be fit and ready and ready to roll. But Tom, I understand that sentiment.
So CQ, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, this is a record this is why I never want him to take a free kick in the Premier League again, because he is one free kick away from having the worst run in Premier League history.
Yeah,
I think it's Premier League.
It's a record he doesn't want.
Yeah, and it's like if he steps up to take one, I mean, of all the records that man smashes, do you want that one? Not that it's going to mean jot to him, but would you want that record?
It will drive him nuts when he's told that in a press conference after the game when he has to accept that that's what's happened. Of course he doesn't want that. No player would want that. And I mean, I don't think it's going to affect him as far as his confidence is concerned. That would be silly. But at the same time, any negative press is never positive. It just makes you feel a little bit weird about it.
I'll give my view on it, and then we've got another super chat to get through to. But what I do remember is, do you remember when you had those kind of loan deals where they went permanent if a person played that amount of games, like we would have had with Galini? And it's like they get to that one game, but you don't want to sign him, so you just drop him for the rest. That's kind of like what this King record is like for me. I wouldn't want to take it. I would not want to take it.
Sonny, man. You scored 2 of them.
Exactly.
Just go for it. It's yours now, buddy. I've tried as many times as I possibly can, and it's not working for me.
Exactly.
It's not working for me. Maybe it'll work for you. Just stop being selfish.
What is it they say? The meaning of an insanity is
the definition of insanity
that's what
is repeating something over and over again and we're expecting a different result.
Exactly. We got another super chat from Lazy 8.
What's the Lazy 8?
Big up, brother.
Thank you.
Northern Ireland, you just called out my number one. Oh, okay. One navy blue third kit. Oh, Mr. Ireland, that's been Northern Ireland. Okay, navy blue third kit with the gold trim. I have 20 deli. What a different world it was.
Well, for sure. It is a slick kit. It's just so fresh and different and cool, and I love the blue and the gold. It's just like it's just a fresh kit. I'm a massive fan of it. The fact that you got Dele on it. Dele was really good that season, and it was early doors for him, and some good memories. But fantastic stuff.
Yeah, it was. So let's see if we got any more one about the kids. Oh no, we said we are going to do an Ask Us Anything, didn't we?
Yeah. Just get some more questions.
People get some questions in. Get your questions. Just put at Tottenham on tour. At WeAreTottenhamTV, and we'll answer them.
Brian doesn't know where he is right now. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit confused. So I'm looking at the comments, trying to talk to you guys, or if you have any subjects you want to talk about,
get them in. Just get them in. And
there is one we can talk about.
Perfect.
Kane will get 30 plus goals and 12 assists.
Yeah, I've been saying this. So I have another podcast I do called The North End, and we talk about football. It's a Premier League podcast. We talk about all the other teams, and we get on with sort of like who's going to win the Golden Boots. Last week we had those questions, and I said the same thing. El Dante, I think Kane 30 plus goals in the Premier League. 40 plus in all comps, because I think he's probably going to score 10 in the Champions League as well as the cup games, at least, and it could be even more than that. He is going to be on fire, and the 12 assists, I mean, the way he drops deep, what he's able to do passing, is just absurd. He's such a good player across the board. I think that's it's a good show.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've said, and I'm convinced the way Harry Kane's going into this, I'm going to make a bold statement and think he could be on the high teens by the World Cup in goals.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm talking Premier League, not Champions League and everything. I think what I want to see from Harry Kane this year, we all know he'll drop deep. But this guy, like I said, going for Jimmy Greaves' record, is going to be hungry.
He wants it.
He is
going
bad. To be hungry.
He's a record whore as well. He wants as many records as he can
single one. I mean,
except the free kick.
Like the one thing I think he's going to want to change is obviously. I think this will be the first. Yeah, it will be definitely. He'll go to the Premier League. And I think the one team he hasn't scored against is Nottingham Forest, and we got Nottingham Forest a few weeks into the season.
Yeah, so we'll get that.
So he'll want to get that done and say, right, I've scored against every Premier League team I've played with.
Yeah,
assists. I think he'll get to. He's going for the end of the season. Yeah, I think 12.
I think by the end of the season, definitely. Yeah.
But I honestly think this will be Harry Kane's most prolific season. I really, if he stays injury free, injury free, because the reason I say that as well is I think he's getting he's going to get rested a bit more often. He's not going to be in that red zone. He's going to be
fitness levels are going to be the highest they've ever been as well. A lot of the time, these players get those niggly injuries. I mean, the ankle for him was a problem. It's been a few years since that's been a problem, so we should not bring that up. He doesn't have glass ankles. He's not playing the way he was under Poch, where those types of injuries came. He's going to be the fittest he's ever been under one of the best managers in the world. And I just think. Great shout out, Dante, and 100% agreement. I think 30 plus comfortably.
We've got a few questions here as well.
Sweet.
So Dan Stratford saying Souness claimed this morning that Conte has killed the Spursy title. Is that true? What would
Great
you say?
question, Dan. I think that he's on the way to doing it. I think I think the trophy in the cabinet this season will eliminate that. I think that's going to be the key moment where we get it over the line. In this season, I think that's going to happen. I'm not sure which trophy, but I do think we're going to win one. Probably a domestic cup, potentially. I could say I would say possibly Europa League if we get knocked out of the Champions League. That there's a feasibility there, but I think that's going to be the key for me to get rid of that title. I hate it. Every time people talk about it, I'm just like, God, piss off. But there's a reason for it. It exists because we've not gotten over the line so many times and so many opportunities. So Conte is the manager to do it, 100%, and he, from an attitude perspective and how he carries himself and carries the team.
Yep.
I think that title will be gone this season.
So for me, I think we saw at the tail end of the season what normally happens when, and I don't even want to talk about the North London derby. I want to talk about the Burnley game.
Yeah.
That Burnley game where we knew we'd go above Arsenal before Newcastle, and then put the pressure all back on them for the last game of the season. We went 1-0 up with that penalty with Davinson Sanchez getting that handball, which was just a stroke of genius. I don't know how he did it. Do you know what? If he had that ball come to him again,
he could never
repeat that if he had 100 attempts. But we got the penalty. Burnley came on, and Burnley were fighting for their lives, and we know they've gone down, and we got the job done. Yeah,
it was nice to see
that. It's those games. Obviously, when you're playing the Arsenals, the Liverpools, you're pumped up anyway, and we normally do better against them.
We get up for those games comfortably. And they also are open at the back. We can get in behind them, whereas you can't.
And you got to remember, with that game, I went mad on this very channel after we drew 0-0 with Brighton. I've had many meltdowns on this show where I've gone absolutely batshit crazy.
No.
That one topped a lot of them. And that was after we'd beaten Villa 4-0, and then we lost to Brighton, drew Brentford. I was like, but then the way we came back, and the way we got the job done, all right, Arsenal imploded. I think we are on the way to doing it. And as long as Conte stays there and is able to do what he does, I think that Spursy title, as long as he's there.
Yeah.
Whilst he's there, I think that title's gone.
And I think the trophies coming in will be the sort of the line in the sand. Like the moment, okay, we've done it, we've got over the line. And I think Conte is the one to do it. So yeah, 100%.
So before we go to the next question, which is from, I believe, CQ, we got a super chat in from Erica Green. Thank you, Erica.
Cheers, Erica.
Spurs probably won't win the league, but with a good start to the season, I do think Conte will have the team believing that they can win it. This is
great comment. Comment, Erica. Absolutely true. I think that's the point of Conte, right? He says, he said in like the press conference this week, about a bit of tongue in cheek, but also at the same time, there's some truth in tongue in cheek almost always, and it was winning the league and winning the Champions League. And I think that he's going to get the team to believe that they can. In doing so, you're going to see a team that is going to be incredibly difficult to play against. Are we going to cut the point gap? It's a massive point gap between Liverpool and City. I think Liverpool, because of some of their lack of activity, and I think be like potential losing money and other things. I think we can catch Liverpool. I don't think we can catch City. So I think that's going to be the most difficult part to win the league. But he's definitely going to have them believing we can.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Erica, what I've been saying as well is, for me, a huge sign of progression this season is if we can close the gap on second. And I want us to let's say we finish third, I would have finished closer to second than we would have to fourth. And for me, that is another sign.
Not looking back.
Yeah, that's another huge sign of progression. And
yeah, I agree.
And like you said, Erica, if we can do well up until that World Cup, then it will come down to when the players come back and we depend on let's just say we come back and we have pretty much a full bill of health.
Yeah.
It's unlikely you might have a couple of players that need a bit of time off to recover and whatever. In that January window, if we can pull the trigger early, like we've done this season, and not wait till the last day of the window like we did with Kula, then I think we can really be in the mix. But the way I looked at it when Conte came is when we signed him, I thought it was a little too late to get Champions League. I thought the damage had been done, but then obviously no team really wanted fourth place, did they? There was kind of, everyone kept dropping points. And I said, we'll get fifth. And then next season we'll get Champions League. And then next season will go for the title or at least have a push for it.
Yeah.
And for me now, with what he's done this season, we've kind of gone forward a year. So for me, it's not getting fourth this season. It's getting third and closest to second. Oh, obviously, anything else is a bonus. Anything else is a bonus.
Yeah.
And then if he's back again in the summer, then we can start talking. And hopefully sign a new contract. But that was a really, really great question, Erica. And now the next question is from Bobby K.
Bobby.
Which is, who is getting the golden boot this year? This is a big question.
Harry Kane.
You going Harry Kane?
I am. So again, are we talking to go to what we were discussing? I think Bobby was in the comments on the North when we were talking about it. Mo Salah certainly is in that conversation. He looks really fit and firing as well. Isn't going to the World Cup. He is going to be right there in the conversation. If you look at last season though, and how he dropped off, I do think there's a drop off in him, or there's a point in a season where he gets inconsistent.
Yep.
Now that could happen to Kane as well because of the World Cup. Hopefully that isn't the case. So hopefully he's able to stay fit. Just think with a full season, Harry Kane from the beginning of the season till the World Cup, he's just gonna be rocking. He's gonna score a ton of goals, and I think that's gonna be enough for him to win the Golden Boot. And there's obviously Haaland is in that conversation, I think as well. I don't think Haaland is gonna do that well. I said don't say do that well. He's gonna do well. He's in the City side, so he's gonna score goals, 15, 20 goals probably, which I think is for a 9 going into a new team is a good turn. I think the following season he's going to be ridiculous.
That's what I think.
But I think the first season, the system change, the fact that he's probably not going to play every game as well, probably not going to be on penalties, probably not going to be taking free kicks. There's some things that with a squad like City where he's not going to be the main man. There's going to be a lot of players who are going to do a lot of different things, and I think that's going to affect his total goal tally. So I think in the conversation next season he'll be right there.
Haaland's away for every year. He is going to be in the conversation. I think like you. I think next year he's just going to explode. He's going to like Joe. If he stays at City for long enough, and the way he goes, he will beat Shearer's record. If he stays for long enough, the way that if he scores goals at the rate he's going at,
in Germany,
yeah, whatever for Norway, and Norway ain't the best team.
I know, but I don't.
Scoring record. I'm saying that if he stays stays injury free, he will fastly catch up that list of the top 10 or the Premier League goal scorers. But I think next season is his season, and I'm going Harry Kane, and I'm dropping Nunes from Liverpool in this because.
Really, you think so?
I honestly, I don't
think he's that good.
I think people are underrating this guy, and he's going to be there with. And you got to remember, Liverpool got a lot of players to help him attackingly. They've got a lot of players to help him. I'm not saying he's going to do it, but I think he is going to be. He's going to turn a few heads and surprise a few people. But I'm going for Harry Kane. We've got to. We've been saying he's a break his record. He's hungry. We got to, haven't we, people?
We have.
Yeah. CQ with a great question. Who now is it? I'm sure you're talking about Spurs here, where you say who is going to have a breakout season this season? Of course, it excludes Kane and Son. Okay, so we're not talking Spurs.
Breakout season. I mean, to me, for a breakout season is a player who has been with the team maybe for a season or two and is going to exceed what we would have expected. Obviously, that's sort of the definition of breakout. I want to look at a wing back because I feel like that position is so important, and it's a player I want to see do it. Now it is going to require him getting game time, and that's Ryan Sessegnon. And I think playing under Perisic, and what he's going to learn from him is going to give him that opportunity. Now whether he plays enough to have a breakout season is kind of that makes me maybe not go with that, but I do think there's enough games to be played with all the competitions we're in that under Perisic with him sort of teaching him, he's going to be much better than what we've seen so far.
So when we say breakout, obviously normally I think youth, but I'm going to use the new players as well because obviously when it comes to breakout, I always will say Alfie Devine, but he's going to go out on loan. Who are you going to pick?
Langley.
That's exactly who I was going to pick. Exactly who I was going to pick. Do you know what it is? I didn't profess to know a lot about him.
Yeah. He's impressed us in the preseason as little as he's played.
Yeah,
he's looked the part, right?
There's lots of people and lots of other YouTube channels that have done deep dives into him.
Yeah, and
he was at Sevilla in back three. And was
very good.
He was very, very good. Then he went to Barca. Barca have been a mess, haven't they? They were a back three.
He spoke about that today. I don't know if you saw the interview.
Back three. Then he went to a back two. And I just think under a Conte, and I think it's a smart. Do you know what? It's such a smart bit of business that it could. I'm a bit annoyed that somehow we didn't get an option to buy or anything. Whether that was
no, you should read the article because he did say in the article that there's a chance for him to extend a contract.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't think we were given that information until I read it today in his interview, and I was as surprised as you. Like I was like, I got to tell Bri that, and I forgot to until now. But yeah, it looks as though if things go well, and he said that if things go really well, and I expect them to, then there's a chance for me to sign an extension.
Yeah, so I am going to go long legs.
Or
You've got
to sign on
the reason I want to go for long legs as well is he's come with a bit of a mixed bag of reputation, hasn't he? Because he damaged himself. Or
he was the man a few seasons ago before he went to Barcelona.
Exactly, so and I think
there's a player there.
We've seen what Conte can do in elevating players. We've seen what he did with Davies. We've seen what he did with and Davies. I'm a fan of Davies, and I think Davies has done absolutely brilliantly over the last season. Very, very dependable.
Yeah.
But I think thankfully he's going to get a rest as well. He's going to the World Cup. I can see him having the standout season. And the next one, we've got two more. We're going to finish at around 7 p.m.
Yep. We'll do two more questions and then we'll call it.
I've got two more questions. Look at that. It's like you knew. But like we said, we'll do a little roundup and say what's coming on from next week because the next week's show will be a lot longer. So we got Matt Overcock, who has been all over the place recently with all the channels. He was very active with us yesterday. So big ups. Brian and Brian, random question. Why don't Spurs have Friday night games? Now, we spoke about this earlier.
We did,
a couple of seasons ago, we did have was it Premier League? It was Premier League.
Yeah, it was Premier League.
We had a Premier League game just before the Super League was announced and just before the final that Mourinho got sacked for, where we drew 2-2 with Everton and Harry Kane picked up an ankle injury. So I don't know how Sky do this. Sky obviously, when it comes to Friday night game, it's not like, I think we're playing.
I don't know if it's out of a hat or like what they're doing to make these decisions. But
and obviously, I think with us being in Champions League, they're not going to.
I wonder, do we want a Friday night game? Is that do you think that's good for the players? I mean, it does give them a lot of, depending on what's going on midweek, if it's mid-season, if there's cup games or if there's Champions League. But it gives them a longer week to prepare for the next weekend's game, which is arguably an advantage for whoever gets that Friday night game.
And also, I wouldn't mind playing because, like we've just seen today. All right, it's only first game.
It'd be great for this show every week.
It'll be great for our show, yeah. But also, what I'm saying is, I remember with like the Leicester season when we're trying to win the league, and they played every game first, so we had to match them. So when it gets down to the nitty gritty, I wouldn't mind get a Friday game and say, right, we've set our marker down, we've set our stall.
I'd like to see that happen every now and again.
So I think so. I mean,
do we know why, Matt? No, we don't. We don't know why, but we'd like to know why.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, would people be opposed to us playing on a Friday night?
I think it'd be every now and again. Why not?
Exactly. It'd be an 8:45 or 8 o'clock kickoff, so it's 3 p.m. I'll be working, so I'm very opposed to the ball.
No.
I'm very, very opposed to the ball.
Forget that. Brian won't be available.
And the last question of the night will be from a wonderful person by the name of Amir Sada. Shabbat Shalom, Amir.
What's up, Amir? How you doing, brother?
It's great to see you here, brother. Thanks for the support. And it's who's getting the nod at right back tomorrow? I think this is the $64 million question.
This is a great question because
everyone
wants to know. For me, it's Matt Doherty. Doherty, if I'm going to try to pronounce it correctly.
I'm not going to try.
I think he's trusted the most in that position. Now, that's depending on fitness. I think there were some issues with him with fitness as well. And he's sort of coming back from it. And Conte mentioned that in his press conference. It's him or Royale. I think Royale is probably the most fit. So there's a likelihood of him too. There's a bit of hope in me with Doherty because I think that's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see Doherty because I want to see if he can get back to sort of what he was doing before he got his injury last season, which was, playing at the level we know he's capable of, which he had done at Wolves and which he did for those 4 games before getting that injury. It's probably going to be Royale though.
So that I have said I think it's to be Royale. I can see why it'd be Doherty, but I think Doherty, like if Perisic plays or Sessegnon plays, you're going to want a fully fit right wing back. Yeah. And I could just see it. I think Doherty will be the first choice once he's back up to.
Yeah, it's a fitness issue at that point, right?
But I don't think he was. You got to remember, he's getting preseason minutes in his legs, and that's all good.
Yeah.
But there's a huge step up tomorrow. There's no more messing about. There's no more. And whether you love him, hate him, want him out, think that this season could be it, Emerson right now is the fittest. Not saying the best.
Fittest, yeah.
The fittest
and I think
right wing back we have.
I think that's what Conte cared about the most, right? And especially going into this first game of the season, he wants the players to be able to run the way he wants them to run, press the way he wants them to press, close down, all of the things you need to do in a Conte system at the highest level. Despite not having the technical ability, the effort's going to be there from Royale, and for an entire 90 minutes, which you might not get from a Doherty, who's sort of not 100% fit. So yeah.
So there you go. So guys, listen, that's the end of this show. But we just want to say thank you for the almost 200 people that have been watching. As I said, from next week, and it's really good. I mean, the main thing with it was to get people from North America, New Zealand. I'm not going to forget
just around the world, really. Just that aren't necessarily going to be in that same time slot that We're Talking TV usually are. So we thank the boys from We're Talking TV, Ben and Sim, for getting us on here and giving us an opportunity to be here to be with you guys and to show the fans that there's football in other parts of the world.
Yeah, no, that's the case. I mean, like I said, as of next week, it will be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is 1 a.m. UK. Like I said, the streaming link will be put in by Ben and Sim.
Yeah, we'll have you guys on the show rather than doing Q&A.
We're going to make it nice and interactive. I mean, I really enjoyed this. We've got a lot of interactivity. Yeah. I do apologise if we didn't get all your comments up. I'm running them from my phone. And on We Are Tottenham TV, the comments come in faster than I've ever seen. It's very, very hard
we're not used to it, but we appreciate
pinpoint. But we are trying to. We're going to make it as interactive as possible. We really appreciate your support. Like I said, you can click the hyperlink on the subtitles to catch us more on We Are. Of course, Tottenham on Tour. Tottenham on Tour. We're on the push for 5,000. But guys from all around the world, thank you very, very much for being a part of the first late Spurs show on We Are Tottenham TV by Tottenham on Tour. Please give us your feedback in the comments, good, bad, the ugly, because that's how we learn and that's how we grow. But we hope you enjoyed it. The Premier League is back. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Like, comment, share, subscribe. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.